aking puso at hikain kay ganda sa Pilipinas na aking bayan, lantay na perlas ng silanganan, wari na tipo ng kayamanan ng may kapal. Ika'y sa'king talino sa mabuti lang laan, sa aki katutuo ang maging mapagmahal. Ako ay Pilipino, ako ay Pilipino, isang bansa, isang diwa ang minimithi ko. Sa bayang ko't bandila, laan buhay ko't diwa. Ako ay Pilipino, Pilipinong totoo. Ako ay Pilipino, ako ay Pilipino, taas noo kahit kanino, ang Pilipino ay ako.
Ang bayan kong Pilipinas, lupain ng ginto't bulaklak, pag-ibig na sa kanyang palad, nag-alay ng ganda't dilag, at sa kanyang yumi at ganda, dayuhan ay nahalina. Bayan ko, binihag ka, nasadlak sa dusa. Ibon mang may layang lumipad, kulungin mo at umiiyak. Bayan pa kayang sakdal dilag, ang di magnasang makaalpas. Pilipinas kong minumutya, pugad ng luha at dalita, aking adhika, makita kang sakdal.
March 16, 1521, when Philippines was discovered by Magellan. They were sailing day and night across the big ocean until they saw a small Limasawa Island. Magellan landed in Limasawa at noon. The people met him very welcome on the shore. They did not understand the speaking they have done, because Kastila get at waray-waray man. When Magellan landed in Cebu City, Raha Humabon met him, they were very happy. All people were baptized and built the Church of Christ, and that's the beginning of our Catholic life. When Magellan visited in Mactan to Christianize them everyone, but Lapu-Lapu met him on the shore. and drag Magellan to go back home. Then Magellan got so mad, ordered his men to come up lads. Mactan Island we could not grab, 'cause Lapu-Lapu is very hard. Then the battle began at dawn, bolos and spears versus guns and cannons. When Magellan was hit on his neck, he stumbled down and cried, "Oh mother, mother, I am sick. Call the doctor very quick. Doctor, doctor, shall I die? Tell my mama do not cry. Tell my mama do not cry. Tell my mama do not cry." That's the end of Magellan in the island of Mactan long time ago, ladies and gentlemen.
Spanish era in 1565 to 1898. The Philippine Islands first came to the attention of Europeans with the Spanish expedition around the world led by Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan in 1521. Magellan landed on the island of Cebu claiming the lands for Spain and naming them Islas de San Lazaro. He set up friendly relations with some of the local chieftains and converted some of them to Catholicism. However, Magellan was killed by natives, led by a local chief named Lapu-Lapu, who go up against domination. Over the next several decades other Spanish expeditions were sent off to the islands. In 1543, Ruy Lopez Villalobos led an expedition to the islands and gave the name Las Islas Filipinas to the islands of Samar and Leyte. The name would later be given to the entire archipelago. The invasion of the Filipinos by Spain did not begin in earnest until 1564, when another expedition from New Spain, commanded by Miguel López de Legazpi, arrived. Permanent Spanish settlement was not established until 1565, when an expedition led by Miguel López de Legazpi, the first Governor-General of the Philippines, arrived in Cebu from New Spain. Spanish leadership was soon established over many small independent communities. 6 years later, Legazpi established capital at Manila, a location that offered the outstanding harbor of Manila Bay, a large population, and close to central Luzon rice lands. By 1571, when López de Legazpi established the Spanish city of Manila on the site of a Moro town he had conquered the year before, the Spanish grip in the Philippines was secure, which became their outpost in the East Indies, in spite of the opposition of the Portuguese, who desired to maintain their monopoly on East Asian trade. The Philippines was administered as a province of New Spain, Mexico, until Mexican independence, 1821. Manila revolted the attack of the Chinese pirate Limahong in 1574. For centuries before the Spanish arrived, the Chinese had traded with Filipinos, but evidently none had settled permanently in the islands until after the conquest. Chinese trade and labor were of great importance in the early development of the Spanish colony, but the Chinese came to be feared and hated because of their increasing numbers, and in 1603 the Spanish murdered thousands of them. Later, there were lesser massacres of the Chinese. The Spanish governor, made a viceroy in 1589, ruled with the counsel of the powerful Royal Audiencia. There were frequent uprisings by the Filipinos, who disliked the encomienda system. Occupation of the islands was accomplished with relatively little bloodshed, partly because most of the population, except the Muslims, offered little armed battle initially. The Muslims, in response to attacks on them from the Spanish and their native allies, raided areas of Luzon and the Visayas that were under Spanish colonial control. The Spanish conducted intermittent military campaigns against the Muslims, but without conclusive results until the middle of the 19th century. Church and state were inseparably linked in Spanish policy, with the state assuming responsibility for religious establishments. One of Spain's objectives in colonizing the Philippines was the conversion of Pinoys. Spanish rule on the Philippines was briefly interrupted in 1762, when British troops invaded and occupied the islands as a result of Spain's entry into the 7 Years' War. The Treaty of Paris in 1763 brought back Spanish rule, and the British left in 1764. The brief British occupation weakened Spain's grip on power, and sparked rebellions and demands for independence. In 1781, Governor-General José Vasco y Vargas founded the Economic Society of Friends of the Country. The Philippines by this time was administered directly from Spain. Developments in and out of the country helped to bring new ideas to the Philippines. The opening of the Suez Canal in 1869 cut travel time to Spain. This prompted the rise of the Ilustrados, an enlightened Filipino upper class, since many young Filipinos were able to study in Europe. Enlightened by the propaganda movement to the injustices of the Spanish colonial government and the philocracy, the Ilustrados originally clamored for adequate representation to the Spanish courts and later for independence. José Rizal, the most celebrated intellectual and essential Ilustrado of the era, wrote the novels No Límite Tangier and El Filibusterismo, which greatly inspired the movement for independence. The Katipunan, a secret society whose primary principle was that of overthrowing Spanish rule in the Philippines, was founded by Andrés Bonifacio, who became its supremo leader. The Spanish Revolution began in 1896. Rizal was concerned in the outbreak of the revolution and executed for treason. The Katipunan split into two groups, Magdiwang led by Andrés Bonifacio and Magdalo led by Emilio Aguinaldo. Conflict between the two revolutionary leaders ended in the execution or assassination of Bonifacio by Aguinaldo's soldiers. Aguinaldo agreed to a treaty with the Pact of Biak-Narbeto, and Aguinaldo and his fellow revolutionaries were exiled to Hong Kong. Spanish injustices, prejudice, and economic oppressions fed the movement, which was greatly inspired by the brilliant writings of José Rizal. In 1896 revolution began in the province of Cavite, and after the execution of Rizal that December, the Filipino leader, Emilio Aguinaldo, achieved considerable success before a peace was patched up with Spain. The peace was short-lived, however, for neither side honored its agreements, and a new revolution was made when the Spanish-American War broke out in 1898. The Spanish-American War started in 1898 after the USS Maine, sent to Cuba in connection with an attempt to arrange a peaceful resolution between Cuban independence ambitions and Spanish colonialism, was sunk in Havana Harbor. By the time U.S. land forces had arrived, the Filipinos had taken control of the entire island of Luzon, except for the walled city of Intramuros, Manila, which they were besieging. After the U.S. naval victory led by Commodore George Dewey defeated the Spanish squadron at Manila Bay on May 1, 1898, the U.S. invited Aguinaldo to return to the Philippines, which he did on May 19, 1898. On June 12, 1898, Aguinaldo declared the independence of the Philippines in Port Cavite, establishing the first Philippine Republic under Asia's Republic Democratic Constitution. Their dreams of independence were crushed when the Philippines were transferred from Spain to the United States in the Treaty of Paris, 1898, which closed the Spanish-American War. A German squadron under Admiral Dietrich arrived in Manila and declared that, if the United States did not grab the Philippines as a colonial possession, Germany would. Since Spain and the U.S. ignored the Filipino representative, Felipe Agoncillo, during their negotiations in the Treaty of Paris, the Battle of Manila between Spain and the U.S. was alleged by some to be an attempt to exclude the Filipinos from the eventual occupation of Manila. Although there was substantial domestic opposition, the United States decided neither to return the Philippines to Spain nor to allow Germany to take over the Philippines. Therefore, in addition to Guam and Puerto Rico, Spain was forced in the negotiations to hand over the Philippines to the U.S. in exchange for $20 million, which the U.S. later claimed to be a gift from Spain. The First Philippine Republic rebelled against the U.S. occupation, resulting in the Philippine-American War, 1899–1913.
pagsuyo ng dalagang minsan mangako sa binatang dagling lumayo ay naghihintay ang dakilang puso sa pagluha umanaw ang paralungan ngunit sa libingan nakita'y halaman bulaklak ay putik
ang dugo'y maharlika. Likas sa aking puso at hikain kay kanda. Sa Pilipinas na aking bayan, lantay na perlas ng silanganan, wari na dito ng kayamanan ng may kapal. Ika'y sa'king talino sa mabuti lang laan. Sa aki katutubo ang maging mapagmahal. Ako ay Pilipino. Ako ay Pilipino. Isang bansa, isang diwa ang minimithi ko. Sa bayan mo't pandila, laan buhay ko't diwa. Ako ay Pilipino, Pilipinong totoo. Ako ay Pilipino. Ako ay Pilipino. Taas noo kahit kanino. Ang Pilipino ay ako.
Dakilang lahi nasa iyong tangi, pag-ibig kong walang hanggan. Isinumpa ko, o Pilipino, gagaling ang sugat ng iyong nakaraan. Nang pahiran ko, luha ng puso mo ay natayo, muli ang karangalan mo. O ang pag-ibig ko sa'yo walang hanggan. Ikaw ang siyang dalangin ko sa Diyos kailan pa man. Kumilang ng iyong bituin at sumikat ng araw, ang kalayaan mo'y sinisigaw. Ang bukas ay tanging sa'yo nakalaan. Kayumanggi ang kulay mo, dugo't pawis inalay mo, di ka na maabig. Ngayon o kailanman, pag-ibig ko sa'yo'y walang hanggan. Dakilang bayan, kapayapaan, iyo'y muli nang nakamtan. Tulad nung araw, bago inagaw, ang kayamanan mo, ang iyong kalayaan. Nang pahiran ko,
sa'yo'y walang hanggan. Ikaw ang siyang dalangin ko sa Diyos kailan pa man. Kuminan ng iyong bituin at sumikat ng araw. Ang kalayaan mo'y sinisigaw. Ang bukas ay tanging sa'yo nakaraan. Ngayong manggi ang kulay mo, dudut pawis ginalay mo, di ka na maapi. Ngayon o kailanman, pag-ibig ko sa'yo'y walang hanggan. Kahit na gaano kalit ang tinig ko, buong lakas akong magtatanggol sa'yo. Bukas ay tanging sa'yo nakalaan. Kayo manggi ang kulay mo, ang buhay ko'y alay sa'yo, di ka na maapi. Ngayon o kailanman, pag-ibig ko sa'yo'y walang hanggan. Ulo
ating kalayaan kay tagal nating ngiti, di napapayagang mabawi muli.
Magkakapit-pisig, libu-libong tao, kay sarap pala maging Pilipino.
Sama-sama iisa ang ating lahi,
Kailanman di na maaalitin
ang mga Pilipino sa mundo. Mapayapang paraang pagbabago, katotohanan, kalayaan, katahunan ay kayang makamit na walang lahat. Basta't magkaisa tayong basta nang nagaganap sa aming bayan, magkasama ng mahirap at mayaman,